Hey, you're not feeling it now, but I promise, look, the satire is really good. After 500 hours, you start to really hate the government. Helldivers 2 has been out for a while now, and the gamers are loving it. I personally am not planning on grabbing it because I strongly suspect I'd play it for an hour or two and then never touch it again. It takes a very special game to make me enjoy co-op PvE for long periods of time. Discussion of the game's lore that I've seen, however, is quite interesting. People, for some reason, are fervently arguing that it's satire, showing us bits and pieces of info from the game to prove that it is. As I said before, I don't have the game, but the gameplay itself does not weigh into this much, if at all. What I have done, though, is watched the videos laying out the case that it is satire. The in-universe training video you get is heavy-handed propaganda. The bugs are where they are because of Super Earth. Classified documents show that the priority is patriotism in Helldivers, and extremely high casualties are acceptable. The governance is a cold machine that treats humans as a material asset. The valuable resource being pursued is element 710, a number which when flipped looks like oil, and so on and so forth. Clear if cliched commentary. So, it's satire then, right? Obviously. Yes? No, it's not. It certainly uses tools common in satire, primarily irony, with a big dollop of exaggeration. And the intent is probably for it to be satirical, but for something to meaningfully be satire, it has to land. Because satire isn't a form something takes, it's a function it performs. Satire evokes disgust, hatred, and shame. It agitates and jars those who engage with it. It forces viewers to confront something they otherwise wouldn't in an unavoidable, visceral way. Call me crazy, but I don't think this PlayStation-published bug-zapping sim has exposed anything to anyone. It hasn't struck at something wrong in the world in a way that resonates with those who play it, in a new way that makes them wince, makes them acknowledge how bad things are, how wrong something is. The establishment has not been embarrassed by Helldivers 2. No matter how many hours you goon away on social media, jerking yourself off to the thought that you understand art. Oh, it's satire. Oh, it's so obvious, but that still means I'm smart for understanding because other people aren't smart enough. Oh yeah, here come the bugs. Nah, I'm not feeling it. Instead, what I'm seeing is the opposite of satire's symptoms. A bastardization of the art. Irony not used to get under people's skin, but to make it comfortable for any audience. There are those who enjoy the face value messaging while understanding but not caring about the underlying message, giga-chatting their way through the implied critique. There are those who tolerate the face value message because they know the true message aligns with their existing beliefs. And there's a much larger group, apparently, who care more than anything else about the balance of weapons in the game. Easily the wisest of involved parties, by the way. Shrek hit audiences harder than this as a satire of Disney fairy tale flicks. You know Shrek. Yeah, the film from 2001. Maybe Helldivers would have hit people a little harder on the political commentary front if it dropped that year too, or maybe just a little later. And this so-called satire that already lacks galvanism is further diluted by the neckbeard sweat and Cheeto dust of hundreds of hours of scrapping bots and squashing bugs, too. It's satire as wallpaper, political commentary as an aesthetic to be enjoyed and consumed, not engaged with and acted upon. It makes you feel good because you're being agreed with, because it allows you to embody what's being ineffectively satirized and you like it, or maybe because it makes you feel nostalgia for the Starship Troopers film. I've seen people lamenting that the game doesn't have an audience that understands the satire. My question, if you're one of them coming across this vid, is, what new thought or feeling did witnessing this game make you have or experience? What did it spark in you that wasn't already there? And to what end? Did it just make you like the game more? Because, my buddy, my pal, that's called being subverted with catharsis. Ah, refreshing. They told the fash off. Feels so good. Now time to go blast some Iraqis and communists. I mean bugs and bots. The game gives you a thumbs up and says, haha, yes, you're good and we agree with you. But it then presents you with an endless, unresolvable foreign threat to quell with violence while forging bonds of brotherhood together for hour after hour after hour. Perhaps there's a deeper message that can be read into this game, taken as a whole and while considering its actual reception, that's gone over your own head. Maybe your engagement with the game in itself tells a little tale. Is it not possible for satire to fail, perhaps even to the point of not being satire at all? If all that matters is the intended message, why make anything at all? Why not just tell people what you'd want your creation to convey if they have to accept your intended impact? I was literally laughing out loud reading through Helldivers discourse, TM, on Twitter. It made me imagine a propagandist that, instead of figuring out what's wrong when their messaging doesn't hit right and adapting, simply has a tantrum and complains that people aren't receiving their works correctly. You idiots! This post is propaganda! You're looking at it and still voting for the other party. It's meant to make you like my side more. It's propaganda. Please respect my intent and be swayed by it. I drew the opposing candidate as a soyak. My art is clearly meant to make you not like him, so stop liking him. No, it can't just endear you to him. That's not what the piece is. That wasn't my intent. The media literacy crowd. The I am an artist crowd. These people have a less sophisticated view of art than anyone else in the world. Even the people that don't understand that it's meant to be satire have a better understanding than them. What effect should this piece have on an audience? Let me check the TV Tropes wiki real quick to see if the gamers are reacting correctly. A moron's intuition is more meaningful. This video is more meaningful. And I haven't even played the game, which I think is the best way to experience it as satire, because it certainly makes me hate all of you in ways I'd never imagined before. But, as usual, that's just another one of my harmful opinions.